Rachel. I live in Kcaa, California. I'm 14. My best friend's name is Hannah. Me and my best friend Hannah, we like to go swimming in my backyard, and we like to walk to Rite Aid to get their ice cream. And we can go on hikes, which is fun. Everybody knows everybody. It's nice to have people around you that you've known since kindergarten. It's really scenic. Lawns are all mown and there's flowers and it looks really pretty in fall.
Thanks for joining us today for My Awesome Empire. Produced entirely by students at Cal State San Bernardino, who are proud to tell the stories of the Inland Empire. Do you know of an incredible musician who should be recognized? Do you know an extraordinary kid, firefighter, or senior citizen? We'd love to hear about them. Write to us, My Awesome Empire at csusb.edu. Thanks to student producer co-hosts Arnold Robles and Rita Saikali. To engineer Aaron Campbell and chief production engineer Arnold Robles. My Awesome Empire is a production of the College of Arts and Letters at California State University, San Bernardino. Until next time, I'm Lacey Kendall. Have an awesome week.
Kcaa Loma Linda.
Ha, yeah. Y'all know what time it is. So just sit back and relax because the show's about to start. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Hey, it is Kcaa AM 1050. You're listening to Down to Earth Talk Radio and Let's Talk Community and all that good stuff. Right, guys?
Yeah. Down there talking to Sherry Mitchell. One of the hostesses here, or the only hostess, and with the gentleman on my left,
I got
right.
a Twinkie in my bag.
There you go.
I got some hostess going on.
Yeah, we haven't been on in a while because we gave Mr. Talks a Lot here a couple weekends. So, but he was like, "What are you doing this Saturday?" I was like, "Hey, let's talk about hot shots. Let's talk about people who are our main focus of why we do what we do. You know, the people."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, oh. And then I texted him. I was like, hey, how about this show? And he's like, yeah. So that's what we're here doing today.
Yep.
I just came from a women's conference.
Oh,
Notice I don't have any makeup on?
Because you cried it all
I
out?
cried it all away. I just told you that. That's what you do at women's conferences. You cry and, you let God heal you and all that great stuff. So
I was worried that was my phone.
I think that was mine.
Is that
Sarah,
your phone?
Turn off my ringer, baby.
I left my phone in the car.
I have my 6-year-old photographer with me today, so she's my tech person. So if we have technical difficulties,
right on. 6
She's got
years
it taken
old.
care of.
That's IT. Entry level IT right there all day.
Yeah, she's got it too. I can see the reflection. She knows exactly what she's doing.
Yeah. So you've been doing a great job on your shows.
Yeah.
I've been having fun with it. It's been a blessing to have you guys pass the torch for a few shows and give me the opportunity to do what we're doing here. So I just really appreciate it. It's been giving me a good opportunity to really highlight some awesome people. The police department was supremely happy with us being able to have them out last weekend, and
cool.
They actually want to do a lot more.
That's the reentry team, huh?
Yeah, the reentry team. The chief was really happy with it, and he wants to start seeing more come out. Wants to have as many opportunities as they can get to get the message out and to be able to interact with the community via this type of medium. They're more than happy to do it. So it's been awesome.
Right on. And Danny, how you been, homie?
I've been good.
You been good?
Busy.
I've been good. I've been all over.
Chilling like a villain?
I can't wait for till tomorrow. Tomorrow.
What's tomorrow?
What's till tomorrow?
Sleep.
Sleep.
The day of rest, right?
Yeah, there you
gotta
go.
catch up on all of that.
Yeah. My mom has this saying. She never really listens, but I'll play this for her. She says something. We make fun of her. She says, "Boy, I've never done this in a long time."
I've never done this in a long time.
And we're like, Mom, it doesn't even go together.
If you've never done it, you've never done it.
But, it feels like I've never done it because I haven't done it in such a long time. And I'm like, okay, Mom.
That doesn't sound much
good.
better, does it? Just
No, it's just like, it's cool though. She's my mom. I love her. She can say what she wants. She birthed me. So anyways, so Hot Shots. Do you mind if I just kind of give an intro, because I hate to,
do what you're doing.
Yeah. All right. So I was thinking, and I was talking with staff a couple weeks ago. Shanna, if you're listening, this is for you. That's why I texted you and said, hey, listen in on 10:50 a.m. Shanna is the bomb dizzle for shizzle. I just love Shanna.
Yeah.
And I love Charmaine, and I love everybody. I just love everybody. Everybody's just lovable.
You should start listing everyone's name so nobody gets offended.
Yeah, I know. That's why I said. That's why I was like, oh wait, I can't say I just love Shanna because I just love everybody. I do. I love all. That's why I posted on our staff page. The ATAP Family Services thing because I'm so overwhelmed by all the goodness.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I was thinking, and I was telling a couple of our amazing family members was that when I train the people, I say, hey, look, guys. Okay, look. I know you think you're sitting with, I don't know what you think, but all I know is that the only hot shot around this organization are the kids that we serve.
Right.
And the families that we serve. And there's no hot shots around here, okay? So I don't want it to ever, because, I know what it was. She called me her boss.
You hate that.
I hate that. It's like, okay, look, technically, whatever, but just don't call me that to people. I hate that. I just hate that. So what we're going to do is we all have an equal responsibility to build lives here, and that's how the hot shot came in. The only hot shots around here are the kids. So I was, and he had asked me, like Mr. David had asked me, hey, what do you got anything? Because I have some free time. I was like, oh yeah, well let's talk about hot shots. And the people who are like in the civic realm and the serving realm, that sometimes that old hot shot thing, that gets to people's head. Like when you have a role and you're elected or whatever it is, you're there to serve the people. You're not there to. I don't know. It just kind of irks me. We were talking about that. I think at one of the things. It's like.
After the show one time, we were talking about the people, when people move in and out of your area and they use the situation that you're in just as an opportunity to get a photo or
photo op
or put their name on something, and it's like,
get a couple votes.
Really? Did you just did I just get used, and did my group just get used so that you could appease a group? That's not cool.
Or get more votes.
Yeah. So we're lucky that we have people in the civic realm, in the business realm, that go above and beyond, not because there's something in it for them in the near future, but it's just because they want to make the community a better place to live, and they want to make better for other people's lives. So
exactly. So that's the theme of today's show, and you guys hop in at any time because the Mountain Dew's starting to just like go out of my system, and I'm like, blah. It's all good though. So we have Sean over here.
Yeah, we have Councilman Sean O'Connell from the city of Rialto.
Okay.
Prefer Sean, but
Sean, the great eminence of Sean O'Connell.
Right after what she said, come on.
Yeah.
He's a good friend of mine. We've been working in the community for quite a while now, and I've had the opportunity to get to know him as not only a friend but as a dedicated community member and elected official. And when you said people that are movers and shakers in the community, Sean came to mind. So he was the first thing that came to mind. So he's a great guy, and I'm going to give him an opportunity to introduce himself and talk a little bit about who he is and how he got here.
Perfect. Yeah, my name's Sean. I currently, for the last 3 years, have been elected as a Rialto City Councilman. And hearing some of the things that you just said about why you're running and what's important, I completely agree. I think based on my 3 years, I personally believe now in term limits. I think that people need to step up and do what's right for the community and do it for a limited time and then move on.
Yeah.
Because over time you eventually might forget why you're there.
Mm-hmm.
I personally decided to run. Well, I used to be a police officer, a sergeant in Rialto for about 8.5 years. And some of the members of the community were trying to get me to run back in 2005 and 6, and I put it off for a while because I was trying to better myself, and eventually 3 years ago decided to run.
Awesome. So, what was the initial thought process? I mean, because I just want to hear, because I got some things going on in my brain about some things. I won't say what it is now, but tell me what went through your heart and your mind that said, I want to be in this world and I want to make a difference, and here's why. I mean, how did that happen?
I never really wanted to run for politics. Initially, way back when, it actually started when I was 20 years old. My mom was killed by a drunk driver. And I remember sitting in the limo as we're going to the funeral and looking behind and looking through the rear, the window behind me and seeing a long line of cars. And she used to be a school committee member. And I remember at that time realizing she made a difference. And so that set me down the path of trying to make a difference. And that's how I got into law enforcement eventually. It was a long, long, long road. And I was very fortunate enough to be a cop. It took me quite a while to get on. I actually came out here from Massachusetts, and since I was out of state, they weren't interested in doing a background because it was just going to be extensive. So I put myself through an academy, made sure I was up near the top, and eventually got picked up by Rialto. And never heard of Rialto. Rialto, wherever decided to pick me up, I decided to go for, and I was very fortunate. I loved the city. I loved the job. Eventually ended up getting in an accident, wasn't able to do it for a while.
Yeah.
And that's how it started.
Okay. All right. Wow.
One of the things that I like most about Sean's approach to being an elected official is one of the things our pastor said when he was talking to us. He said that who is the person that almost always never tells the truth, almost never follows through on what they say they're going to do. And everyone's looking around. Some people says lawyers, and I'm the only one like elected officials, politicians. I'm like jumping. Everyone's looking at me like, why is that guy jumping up and down? And he's like, the pastor's like, you're right. They're the largest portion of that. You rarely hear honest things from them. They rarely follow through on what they're going to do. And one of the cool things about being so close to him when he was running is I got to hear the things that he was talking to the community he was going to do. And he has your 1 year left on your current term, and you've accomplished all but one of those things, right?
That's correct.
So, and it's not just, I'm going to make, it didn't just say I'm going to make Rialto a better place to live. He actually had, we have issues with people needing to get permits to have a yard sale. He's like, why should you need to pay money to have a yard sale in front of your house? I think that's dumb. So we're going to deal with that. And he dealt with that. We still have the times a year where you can have a yard sale, but you don't have to go down and pay the city a fee just to be able to sell your junk to somebody else. So we did a lot of positive things. He brought a lot of business back into Rialto and brought integrity back to the city. That's one of the things that I like most is he does what he says. We don't always agree. Sometimes he and I lock horns, but we both know that we're coming from an honest place, and that's very refreshing.
We were very fortunate with the staff that we had. We actually, in the city, we have an amazing staff. We went from $11 million deficit to a balanced budget. One of the things we first ended up doing when I first got on, I looked at the budget, and I was surprised. These are simple things, but it comes down to, as elected officials, if we're going to travel to events. At the time when I first got on, I saw elected officials telling the city administrator, like the first month that I was there, I want to go to these events 3 times in January. Well, as a city administrator who works for us, he can't say no. So where's the check and balance? So what we ended up doing, and I was fortunate enough to have the personnel or the votes at the time, we ended up changing our policy. It's something simple, but from now on, we cannot travel unless we bring it up to the public and vote on it in public. We shouldn't be able to go to any events unless it represents what it's beneficial to the city. We should not go to a 6-day event we shouldn't go on a 6-day trip for a 2-day event and have the city pay for it. Little things like that. We ended up looking at where our money was being spent. We replaced our city attorney and on average now save $2.8 million a year. How is that possible? Why are we having city attorneys making that much money? And where are the connections? And that's where it's frustrating at times. It's easy to say no, or it's easy to put your head in the sand. But I appreciate Dave. I do appreciate a lot of citizens stepping up. There's a grassroots out there that when you engage them, they're willing to listen and they're willing to get involved. And that's what's exciting about the job. It's frustrating a lot, but it's also exciting.
Yeah, that's all. Danny, I got some radio waves thinking that you got something to say.
No, I'm
You don't have
just
something to
listening.
say?
Yeah, no, I'm off today.
You're off today?
I told you.
Are
I
you
wasn't.
checked
Yeah.
out?
No, I'm here.
Oh,
I'm here. I'm just listening.
All right.
I'm
Well,
engaged right now.
Right on. Well, I'm looking at you, and I'm thinking what I see. I don't know you, but you seem humble.
Yeah.
And that's, I don't know. When I go to city stuff, but I was telling Mr. Dave here a couple weeks ago or a week ago, whatever it was, is that I can't, I know in our line of work, we do a lot of work in the city, we do a lot of collaboration stuff, but I just don't want to be around certain people. I just don't. I don't care their title or their status, really. I really don't. It's just because it's just not beneficial. I just don't want people coming to pimp my kids with
Right.
pictures. I
Right.
just don't want that. These are human being lives that I'm passionate about. And these are families' lives that, if you're coming out here really to educate and inform, that's one thing. But if you're coming out here just because it's election time and it's time to snap some pictures and it's time to do it to make it look like you do something, then I don't know. Or maybe, you know what? Hey, just talk to me and let's schedule some things throughout the year. Or let's do, these kids' lives are important. These families' lives are important. And we always have a thing at ATAP. Just because, I'm not talking about like officials or anything, but just because a service is free doesn't mean I want it in my community.
Yeah.
Because it could maybe not be a good thing. It could represent wrong values. It could represent, or not necessarily wrong values, but values that don't match up with ours and what we're in place to do. And if someone wants to come in and try to and go get their own contract, and they can go and work as hard as we do and care as much as we care and love as much as we love. I'm Mama Bear. There's Papa Bear. There's all kinds of, parental bears that work with ATAP that'll scratch your eyes out if you even look at our kids wrong. I mean, I ain't playing.
Yeah.
We had a chance to
From San Bernardino.
Me and
kidding.
Paul Chabot with Drug Free California got a chance to come in a few weeks ago when you guys had your video game truck thing, and looking at those kids are happy, they're engaged. I saw the parents, and what's funny is that's the exact same street where before that housing complex got brought under the new guidelines of low income housing and having that new structure there. That was the same place where some of the council members said, well, maybe if we changed it from Jackson to Rainbow Lane, that would change things. That the name of the street, like the name of the street was the problem. That wasn't the problem. It was the people that had control, the people who were working within the community didn't have the right mindset to make it a healthy place. Now they've got new management. They've got a healthy group of people that are in there that have the kids' best interests in mind, not their own. And I think that's what we need to start seeing move throughout, not just Rialto, but San Bernardino, Fontana, Colton, and the rest of the IE to make it a great place to live and thrive. So.
Yeah, and were you gonna say something?
Yeah, one of the things, and I used to be a police officer, so I'm kind of biased, but one of the things I'm proud of the police department, Rialto Police Department, is we have something called the Pride Platoon. As a former police officer, I would go to calls and somebody would say, Johnny, my teenager's not listening to me. And so while I'm there, they're going to listen. But that's something that maybe could have been addressed years ago, but we don't have the opportunity to address it now. Mm-hmm. And so I'd give some advice, and it would just be, I feel like when I left, I felt like it was just, I don't want to say useless advice, but it wasn't advice that they needed. Well, we currently have the Pride Platoon, and what that is at-risk program that is proven to be very effective. So now when a police officer goes on a scene and there's a problem with Johnny, or the schools are having problems with kids, we actually get them into this program. And it's a 12-week program that is shown to be impactful. Probably 2 months ago, I was at Kcaa, and I was in the elevator coming down, and somebody came up and said, "Are you one of the council members?" And I said, "Yes." And she goes, "Do you remember me?" And I didn't. Yeah. And she goes, "Well, I graduated from the Pride Platoon. I want to let you know I also graduated from high school." Oh. And so when you have these parents or these kids showing up at the council and they're talking about how now they're going to the military, or now they're going to school, or now they're supporting their families, that's what we're talking about. That kind of program is impactful, and that's why I'm proud as a council member to say, yeah, I support that. Yeah. And those are the kind of programs that we're having. And I know Dave, and I'm rambling here, but I know Dave's been actively involved with all the changes that we've had in the city. We've had parents show up talking about how one of their high school students almost died in a high school, and we need to address certain drugs that were coming into the city, and that's where it's exciting as a council member to be able to have that kind of impact.
Yeah, I understand.
I think impact comes from people that are passionate about what they do. They're not just showing up to work.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, there's a huge difference between the hourly employee that's showing up to get a paycheck and somebody that sees an issue and wants to make a difference in that issue. And I think that's where, like, if more people that were just looking to make a salary would go work where they just give salaries, that'd be great.
Yeah.
But the people that are, you know, in positions where you have to have a passion, you have to have something underwriting, you know, more than just providing for your family. You have to have you want to make a positive impact. You want to change your community, your city, or even your world, you know. And so you take it at a lot different approach.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, I was thinking about, like, because you had shared, because we'd asked you on the first show that you came on, we said, well, how did you get involved? And you were like, well, I watched my dad. And then I watched my dad, and then I decided I wanted to get involved. And right now, I just want to compel to anyone listening, and if you live in any one of the communities where we serve, or just you live in the city of Rialto, you live in the city of San Bernardino, I mean, all you got to do is just get involved.
Yep.
And if you don't know how to get involved, all you got to do is call up the city, Google San Bernardino City. They'll give you a number on the website, and it'll say, all you got to do is press 0 for the operator, however the system works, follow the prompts, and say, I'm a citizen, and I am interested in getting involved. Tell me how to do that.
I have a better idea. If you're in Rialto, I don't know if I can give out personal information, but
Go
if you're
for
in
it.
Rialto, give me a call at my house. It's 909-429-1138. Again, that's 909-429-1138. It's my home number, and we will get you involved. Whether it's commissioners or volunteering, we have a lot of programs that are currently occurring in the city, and we're always looking for people to volunteer.
That is brave. I just want to make that statement. That is brave. I would not give my house number out. I'll give my Google Voice account, but I will not give my home number. More power to you. Give me some daps right now. There you go. Right on.
That
the show.
actually
All right.
goes to Dave's house.
All right. Okay. That's
Yeah, I'm
right.
his operator. And you
Yeah.
could also, you're also one of the few that actually has a pretty active social media presence. You use Twitter as well, don't you?
Yes, I do. Yes, I've learned how to do that.
So he's become an expert at Twitter, haven't you? You know the ins and outs of everything on
Yes.
Twitter now.
Thank you. Yes, I finally learned how. I learned actually as I was running for office. But one of the things you mentioned earlier, and this is, I think, is important, and you can tell that people that are involved or not, because I think once you decide to get involved, once you decide to run for office, it's the commitment that you work for the people. And what does that mean? That means that you don't wait for the end of 4 years to start showing up at community events saying, hi, my name's Councilman Sean, or I work, by the way, I'm running in a year, vote for me. You can tell the people that are involved that show up at all the events. And those are the ones that we should be supporting. And I see it. We see same thing when somebody runs. You can tell that once election comes up, they start showing up at the council meeting. And you're going, oh, yeah, I saw you 3 years ago.
Yeah.
It's about that time,
and
right?
And you can watch the council meetings, and you can see the ones that are speaking up on a daily or a meeting or monthly basis, and those are the ones that are actually involved.
Yeah, and a lot of our residents, when I talk about, because we've taken kids to, San Bernardino, because we have, primarily most of our communities are in San Bernardino. So we've taken some of the kids to the city council meetings, and they're like, oh, we can come to this? Yes. Hello.
Please come to this.
Yes, you can. It's open to the public. It's on the calendar. Let me show you where it is, and let me show. And I always recommend those that I take, listen first, kind of get an idea of what's going on, and then bring a notebook, and then write down the things that interest you, and that had interested you while they're talking. What things sparked in you? Or like, oh, that's not right, or oh, that's right, or oh, how really can I get involved? Like for me, Parks and Rec is a really big deal. I've looked at the finances on that. And I'm like, oh, heck no, I just don't agree with a lot. But I'm not tripping. I'm not here to make any negative statements or nothing like that. But those are the things that spark me when I go and I listen, or I go and I look at minutes of meetings, or I read that stuff. And these are our taxpayer dollars, and, I'm not going to harp on that. I'm not trying to go there. But I'm just saying, when I look at certain things, that's what I encourage, the people that participate. You took kids Huntington Beach down.
Huntington Beach City Hall, Newport Beach City Hall.
Yeah. Our kids need to know. Our young people they're our future. They need to know what's...
We need to take some Park Place kids to a city council meeting. That would be fun.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, that would
So getting them involved and encouraging them that this is for you. This runs our government, our local government, our city, and things you don't like about it, stop complaining. I don't want to hear it. Let's go and make a difference, and let's ask questions, and let's figure it out together.
Right. Because too many times we forget that it's our community.
Yeah.
Like, we forget that. We forget that it's our country, that it's our state, that it's our community. And in that hour, it's also our responsibility. And like, a lot of people just assume, oh, well, that's the city, and I'll let the city do what they need to do. And they forget that they have a purpose in the process.
Yeah. Or I hear it a lot. My vote doesn't count. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
It does count.
Yeah,
Well, I'm just one person in a million. It counts.
You can ask Sean. I rail on the elected officials when they make decisions that tend to appear to limit, the community's access or the community's voice. I'm like, you are making those people right. Those people that say it's not worth voting, those people that say that their vote doesn't count, you're making their statement true. You need to stop what you're doing because you're creating more problems than solutions. We're out here trying to show people, yes, your voice does count. Yes, you do need to vote. You need to step up. You need to make your mark on this community. And you're making decisions and you're doing things, whether you know it or not, that are making that more difficult for us. So if you are planning on doing that, stop it. And if you're not, stop it anyway.
Yeah. Mr. Sean, what did you want to be when you were a kid? What did you think? Did you always want to be a police officer?
No, I had really no idea. I went to college and ended up really not being focused.
I wanted to drive a tractor.
Yeah, no.
Right on.
No, I had no idea. And then I ended up working part-time as a mall security. And then from there, it developed into wanting to become law enforcement.
You're a mall cop?
I was a mall cop.
My daughter,
back
she's
east,
6.
Yes.
I said, what do you want to be? Just like a month ago, I want to be a mall cop, Mom.
No,
and I was like, she's seen the movie. And she's like, I want to ride one of those things. And I was like, all right, that's cool.
That's when I was in college coming back as a part-time job. Yeah,
Wow.
no idea.
Right
But I loved my job as a police officer. It was actually, most people can't tell I'm paralyzed, but if I had a choice of being a cop and being paralyzed or not being a cop and not being paralyzed, I wouldn't change it. I was very fortunate to be able to do that.
Wow. You're an inspiration.
No.
Yeah.
Well, I think when you do go out and speak, like, to the Pride Platoon graduating classes and stuff like that, you show kids and young people that just because you've given a certain circumstance in life, that doesn't mean that you can't do whatever you want to still. You're a living, breathing, representation of that, because most people would say, well, because I had this accident happen to me and I'm put in a situation, I'm not going to be able to be, someone like that. But you fly right in the face of that and give them that hope. So you are an inspiration.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But yet, no, I strongly believe that, and that's why it's inspiring to go to see the Pride Platoon or speak in front of them, because you can, with effort, overcome anything. There are always going to be mountains that you need to climb over. And I'm very fortunate. Somebody asked, and I've heard this saying, that if you're lucky in your life, you can count on one hand your true friends. And once you have something significant that happens to you, and you can actually look back and you see the people that are surrounding you, and you can count on your hand those true friends, then you're very fortunate. So I appreciate you saying that, but it's really the people that are surrounding me that inspire me, if that makes any sense.
Well, that's cool. That's refreshing to hear. Wow, I've had a heavy day. Have you had a heavy day? I've just had a heavy day.
I've had a heavy day.
Yeah,
There's been a lot
right.
going on today.
I know.
This has probably got to be the single most busiest day in the Inland Empire. There's multiple car shows going on.
Yeah.
There's benefits. There's family festivals. I'm like, everyone's hitting me up on Facebook to come to their event, and I'm like, one person actually told them, I was like, whoa, everyone needs to slow down for a second. I need to digest this day. So I chose to go to Krispy Kreme and get free donuts with my daughters.
Did you do the pirate voice?
We dressed up.
Oh, right on.
Like pirates, and got free dozen donuts.
Wow.
And when I heard the word donuts, I instantly was interested.
He's coming by our house to probably grab some.
There you go. All right. Well, hey, I want to make an announcement. I only told it to you guys, and I told it to one person, Miss Concepcion Powell, because I love her.
I accidentally invited a bunch of people to that page, by the way. So.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Well, I was just in prayer about a few days ago, and I want to start praying for the Inland Empire. So, and I was sharing with a couple of my friends that this is not a show. This is not anything about it. I just believe our region needs prayer. I believe that we need God's grace to do something fresh and something new. So on the 4th, I originally said a couple, but, I think I'm going to commit to one.
Yeah,
one month.
I was happy that you committed to one.
And so we got a minute left, but here it is. At the Carousel Mall, the 4th Saturday of every month, and I said 3:30, but I'm going to do 3 just in case I got to do a football game afterwards. And we're going to pray here at the Inland Center Mall by the station downstairs. I think there's a fountain downstairs.
Yes, there is.
But if you have a heart to pray and you're serious, this isn't a show. This is not about putting anybody on. This is about Jesus. It's about lifting his name and believing him to make a change in our region, in the Inland Empire, and Rialto, and San Bernardino, and Fontana, and all these other areas. So you're welcome to come, be a part of, in unity, in praying for our region, and believing God for miraculous change in our regions. So that's all I got to say about that.
And that's it. Everyone have a great day.
That was the quickest 30 minutes of my life.
Fastest 30 minutes in radio, baby.
All right. There you go. Thank you for coming, Mr. Sean.
Thank you guys for having me.
All right. Thank you, Danny.
You're on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at buysellmakeoffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and